Speaking of music, Nick, you said you do a lot of music.
Yeah.
Do you like you sing? Do you rap? What kind of music are you into?
I grew up on like 2000s like R&B. Like that was just something I always really, really liked. Like Usher is like my guy growing up pretty much. And then I've always been influenced by rap. I was like in second grade rapping Will Smith, like because my mom didn't let me listen to rap music, but my stepbrother did when I was older. But he was never able to share it with me, like Snoop Dogg and stuff. And my mom was very conservative, right? And the only rap song that I remember is from Men in Black, Will Smith. And because it was the movie. So I'm in second grade, like rapping the whole song. And it's like the only song so I've always really just liked rap music and then went on to R&B and things like that. So I've always just like rap and R&B and that's it. Even when growing up in high school, it was like these like emo bands or like teen like heartthrob bands. And I was like, I don't really, these dudes can't really sing. Like Usher is out here like really singing out here. But these guys are just like just whining pretty much on tracks or whatever. So I was just like, I've always been like, people would be like, Nick, all you like is rapping. But now it's tight, right? Now it's like the biggest genre pretty much in the world. So I've always like been super into music. And my brother, I have a twin. So I have a twin brother who's like super into like rap. And he's like a really good rapper. Like I'm not good at rapping. Like he's good. Like he's real good. And he listens to like all the hardcore guys. And I went more the R&B route. I was more about like, and so like when I was making I'm like, I'm not a tough dude. Like I'm not like, so for me, my personality is a lot more R&B and how I can be like, relate to people. I was like thinking, I was like, how can I like relate to people? I didn't come from a terrible place. I didn't, I'm not tough. I'm not out here trying to look for fights or like saying how tough I am, but everybody goes through heartbreak at some point. Everybody has a relationship at one point. So that's something that I can relate to and maybe other people can relate to too. So with the R&B influence, I'm super into Miguel. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Division. It's like from Canada. They're on OVO. They're like outstanding. So like R&B has always been like the things that I listen to the most. Miguel, I said Miguel, and so so my music is like, and Drake obviously. So I do a little bit of rap, do a little bit of singing, a little bit of melodies in here and there, but just whatever the beat tells me is my style, essentially. And it's always just been something that's been super creative to me. And I think I'm a better writer than a performer though.
That's interesting.
Like I feel like I could write a song for somebody and
tell them about how you helped Kevin.
Yeah. And so like growing up in high school and things like that, my friends were into that stuff, but no one else was. No one else was trying to make songs or make raps, or I was making raps in like 5th grade, like just by myself, and no one else was doing that stuff. So the friends that I had were into R&B as well. And one of my best friends, his name's Kevin Wilson, and he's trying to and he's outstanding, but he's one of those people, I don't know if that starts a song but doesn't finish it, and he's like super critique, and it's like, oh, it's not right, and it's like, it's not perfect, right? And I'm like, dude, this is freaking good. You got to get this out. Like, you got to do this. Like, let other people decide if it's good or not. Like, you're killing it before you even give it a chance, right? And so he's working on an album right now, and it's really good. He's super talented, a way better singer than me.
He's one of the few people that I've heard, like, like you hear like SoundCloud singers and rappers, but he's actually like really good, where sometimes he almost sounds like Drake to me. And I'm like, that's your friend? Like, that's insane. He's really good.
Mm-hmm. And I help him, like he'll send me a song like Wasn't Missing. And I'm just like, oh, this is my idea. This is my feedback. I might like write him a verse. Cause do you guys both do music?
No,
I do music.
You do music? So like when you write a first verse and maybe you have a chorus and then you're just like, shoot, what am I going to do for this next verse? Like you get in the same cadence, right? Get in the same cadence, the same melodies, and you're like, I feel like I need to switch up. So sometimes he'll send me a song and I'll just send him a verse just to get that switch, and it's a different perspective, a different melody, just to kickstart it again. So he'll be like, send me the song and be like, dude, that's a really good song. It motivated me to write a verse. Here's a verse. Do whatever you want with it. I don't care if you like it or not, but maybe just gives you a different perspective just to jumpstart that. Right. So like, that's what's awesome about having people that also write music and stuff like that, just to help people write a verse or whatever it may be. And he's way better rapper, way better performer than I am. But when it comes to like my writing, I feel like I'm able to paint a picture pretty well.
And have you recorded any songs that you could share with us? Yeah,
absolutely. I've done 3 albums. Perspective was the first one. Music was the second. And I recently released a year ago. It's basically 0000, but it's basically the time is 0, meaning time is running out. Eventually the clock will hit 0. We don't know when it will. So that was the whole idea behind that. For all of us, the clock will hit 0. But when, right?
That's pretty dope.
So that was the idea between that, and Perspective was my first album. And that's when I was like broke up with my first girlfriend, and the communication basically ended when it ended. No more talking, period. So it was me giving my perspective, and I wasn't a person to like talk bad about anybody. And I just let my perspective be known in that album. And it ended up being like a story throughout the whole entire album of like, it was good, it was bad, now I'm back on my feet. And it was like my perspective of the whole entire story. And then the second album, Music, was more just like, I'm on my R&B stuff. I'm listening to a lot of Miguel. I'm listening to a lot of to Division. I'm listening to all those R&B things. And I started making beats too in that album too. And just started to experiment with different sounds and things like that. And it's just been something that's just always been there. Like I'll just randomly drive to work and I'll be like, oh, I just put down 4 bars in my head going to work, right? And I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna put that in my phone just so maybe I'll use it in a song later on or something like that. And so
I do that at work too,
all the time, right? Especially if you're like at a job or whatever, and you're just like, oh, dang it, man! Like I just need to get some creativity flowing in some way, and just like I gotta put this away for a second. Let me just write down da 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 da. And so, it's just been always something that I like painting the picture.
So you find that words come to you quite easily then when it comes to writing lyrics?
The stories come quickly.
If you think to yourself, right, I'm going to write a song now, can you just sit down and write, or do you have to sort of like you say, you sort of have an idea now and again, you pluck a few lyrics down, and maybe you can use that somewhere?
Preferably, I like to hear the beat first.
Yeah.
Okay, so music
because the beat tells you the story. To me, how does the beat make you feel? I think of a story. I play the story in my head. I sit myself in the chair and I tell people about that, where I'm at in that chair, and what I'm feeling, what the story is. I try to go with that. But there are times where I've written songs and I'm just like, I got to find a beat for this. And that's way harder. Or I got to make a beat for this. Like I can't find a beat, so I got to try and make one, right? And that's way harder. That's way harder.
I've written 2 songs just for fun, really. And I did that to start with. I wrote the lyrics out as I thought they would sounded good, but then to find music for it, I really, really struggled. And I still haven't, I'm not happy with it now because I found a track that I like, but then the lyrics don't fit the beat. And it's just, it felt like a bit of a pointless exercise then. But then I did find, I tried switching it the other way around. So I find music that I liked and then try to write a song to that. And it's not until you start writing the music and start writing the lyrics to the music that then you realize, does the music is it actually any good? Does it fit now? Because I found one track that I thought I loved, wrote some lyrics to it, and actually it sounded very sort of like safe, and it didn't really change much in dynamic. So I think I needed to find something switched up a bit better. But I think it's you think it's one of those things that you go, oh yeah, how hard can it be, right? And you start writing lyrics down, and actually you get a new appreciation for those who do write songs for a living.
Yeah. And like from first album to third album, like so much better. Yeah. And yeah, I could have been like, nope, this sucked, never gonna release anything again. But it's just like, why not? If it feels good to you, it feels good. And that's what before podcasts were a thing, when YouTube was a really big thing, I would YouTube like Pharrell interviews or Childish Gambino interviews or successful people interviews just to get their mindsets and stuff like that. And one thing that I saw in a Pharrell interview was like, if it feels good, then let people decide. And that's kind of how my mindset was with stuff all the time is. It's like, oh, it feels good. Don't think too much into it. And it kind of goes into Rachel's stuff too, is like, it feels good. Why would I overthink it? If it feels good, try it out. And it comes with that confidence, like, dude, if it just crashes and burns, then I'll be fine. I'm good. Like, we're always going to be good no matter what. At least I tried, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I look at some songs that I've written and I've released, I'm just like, it's not tight anymore. And it's not good,
but that's good though.
anymore.
It shows you how much better you've come since then. Like you've got a better understanding on what sounds good. I think if you can always look back and improve on what you've done, that just shows growth, I think.
And it just shows your passion for it. Like,
if
you're not successful in it right away, like it's authentic. And you're just like, dude, I just like this stuff. Like, there's no better feeling. And Shay, I know you know this, that when you make a song and it's pretty much done, and you're just like, you shut the lights off in your place and you turn it up, and it's just in your headphones, and it's just as loud as it possibly can. And you're just like, you close your eyes and you're just like this right here feels right. It feels good. This is a freaking hit. And like, I'm dancing around my room pretending to perform it because I just mess with this so much and it feels so good. Right.
Yeah.
And there's nearly no feeling next to that. And you just like feel so euphoric that you just made something. And and I don't know if you felt the same way, but like the happiest songs I've ever written were in a bad place.
Yeah, me too.
We're in a bad place. And I come with the perspective of, this is what I want to feel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And those songs that I've written where I want to feel is like, and that's so weird when you explain music to people. And it's just like, oh, this song's super sad. Doesn't mean I'm sad all the time.
Yeah.
Or this is super happy. Doesn't mean my life is awesome. Or it's just like, doesn't mean it's good right now. It's where I want to be. So like, there's such a deeper story to every song that you write.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Because a lot of my happiest songs are when I've been like dark places. And people don't really understand like like the mindset. Like they think, oh yeah, you're putting out this sort of song, you must be in a good headspace.
Right.
When a lot of the time it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
For me anyway.
Yeah, I wrote a song called Cloud 10. And because everybody says Cloud 9 is the best. Like, but
I've written a song called Cloud 9.
Yeah. Well, here's my quip, right? But a 9 isn't in the standards. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, to be fair, I wrote mine about a stripper, so they should probably be
Hey. The best songs are about strippers. I'm in love with the stripper is a banger. To this day, it will never change.
I made a video on this too. I might send it to you later.
Yeah, send it my way. And if you are working on any songs, send them my way.
Oh yeah, I've got a few.
Yeah, But yeah, that song in particular, like I was like going after like this girl or whatever, and it just didn't work out. And I was just like, oh man, like feeling bad, like crap. And I was just like, when I find somebody, it's gonna feel like this. And this is my dream of what it. And then cloud is like a dream, right? It's like your thought is a dream. So like cloud 10. So it goes a lot deeper than that. And like,
I like that concept.
Yeah, right. And that's like, I mean, not to plug anything, but like my clothing is around that. The symbol for that is a cloud with stitches in it. And it's like cloud, like a thought bubble or a word bubble or a dream or an idea that you have is like and it has stitches in it. And the stitches are just saying like, you're going to fall. You're going to, your dreams are going to take hits and stuff, but you stitch it up and you just keep going. It's just like saying, yeah, things are going to go wrong, right? Things are going to go wrong. You're acknowledging that, but I'm built for this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I like this. I like this.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm built for this. And so like everybody's dream, everybody had a dream, everybody had an idea, everybody had a thought. And like, that was just like, dude, that's stupid. Rachel, like back when no one was doing YouTube, right? Like, dude, this girl's kind of weird, but I like this thing. I have an idea. I'm just going to do it. And like, there's probably a lot of people, family including, that were just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And that's a stitch, right? I just stitched that wound up and I'm keeping it going. So that's where, the ideas come from.